How's it going, folks? Nick with Foreclosure Finder. I'm back with another walkthrough of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. New videos every Saturday morning. We are out here today in Chicopee, Mass, back in Chicopee for another one of my brokerage's foreclosure assignments. I'll be walking through this one for the first time today, as is tradition. For any information on these properties, obviously, go ahead and take a look at the links in the video description. And just a quick plug, my brother and I are offering 1% listings in the states we do business. Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New York, and now in Florida. So if you are in any of those states looking to sell some property, we offer full service 1% listings, and just looking to drum up some business and pass that savings onto you as the consumer. So again, just take a look at the links in the video description if you're looking to connect, just looking to connect in general. All right, so we're out here in Chicopee today. We got a nice little 3-bed, 2-bath Cape, just a shade under 1,300 square feet. This one we got in inventory. It's a foreclosure, but this one still had people living in it, and the bank did what's called a cash for keys agreement. I'll explain a little bit what that is as we walk through the video, but we'll start on the outside and just kind of take some notes while we do that. So taking a look, siding looks in pretty good shape, roof looks all right, seeing a little bit of growth starting on there, but a little bit of deferred maintenance here and there. Never hurt anybody, right? If you've been a member of the channel long enough. Looks like this chimney might have been replaced more recently. These do look like newer concrete blocks, so I'm just going to keep that in mind for the valuation. Maybe see what the town has on file, and looks like we do have central air here as well. Okay, not too bad. This one's a cute one. I'd actually, before we actually walk in, I would love some comments and feedback from the audience on what you would do with this place. Overall, it's not too bad, and I'm curious what changes or repairs or updates you would make, if any, because I'm looking to see if I can just expand my frame of reference a bit. Stop looking at these through a realtor investor kind of point of view, look at them a little bit more from a consumer end user point of view, and I'd love to get some feedback on what people see here, in your opinion. So go ahead, leave a comment as we walk through it. So checking out the side here, overall in decent shape, some overgrowth, that's to be expected at these properties. Looks like the handrail here has come off, so we'll need to get that addressed just for some safety. Concrete steps, those are good. Take a look in the backyard here. All right, nice little fenced in backyard. This is pretty nice. We got a patio going up to the deck. Okay, patio, need a good power wash, but overall looks pretty good. All the stones still look flat. We got nothing popping up looking too crazy here. Little outbuilding. I don't know how much you're going to be able to salvage out of this. Going to need new doors at least. Take a look at the side here. All right, so it's like the structure's not bad, but doors might need some work. Anything cool in here for our pickers? Nope. All right, so just a general shed, and then we got the back of the house here too. Okay, so deck might need a little bit of work on the railings, the stairs. Missing some rails on the stairs. See, we got some broken spindles in here too. We got some popped up boards, so probably be looking at this in some capacity for repairs, renovation, if not replacement. Actually, let's go ahead and take a look up here. All right, so it looks like they've replaced it in a spot at least. This always drives me nuts when they just cut the square and don't try to make the boards look good. Well, I guess in this case they didn't stagger. Well, no, they got some all right, so that's even weirder. So they staggered it like at the end of the deck, but not at the beginning. You can see all of them are just straight 2-bys, but here they staggered them a bit. So okay, maybe they ran out of lumber and these were the offcuts. That could always be the case. Nice little slider. Oh yeah, and then just seeing some rot here too. Okay, just keeping that in mind. So yeah, like I said, this was a cash for keys. So basically, when we get these assignments in, there's a chance that former owners, occupants, tenants might still be in the property. And what the bank will do is, their goal is to get the property vacant to sell. And primarily they'll go through an eviction to do that. But in other cases, in most cases, they'll offer what's called cash for keys. That's basically, they'll offer the occupants, X amount of dollars to vacate the property voluntarily. Usually the biggest stipulation being they have to clean out the place in full. They work to clean it out. They get like a 30, 45 day window. They agree to a few $1,000. They clean the place out. We come through and walk through, make sure everything is good to go. And then we hand over the check. They hand over the keys and, you know, they sign the paperwork and they vacate the property. So that was the case here. We're able to negotiate for the occupants, get a few bucks in their pocket so that they can, you know, move on to the next chapter of their life. And then the client gets the asset, you know, cleaned out, basically ready to list from here. So, you know, just a little background on that. That's pretty common in the REO space. Again, referred to as cash for keys, also known as financial relocation assistance, but just giving the occupants a chance, you know, to take the next step, help them with the moving so the bank can get it vacant. Otherwise, they go through an eviction if that's something they can't come to an agreement on. So, all right, so like I said, kind of the explanation there, but let's see what's going on inside the house. So we walked into the kitchen. Kitchen's in pretty good shape overall. Again, I'm curious. I'd love to see the feedback from the audience. No power in here. Looks like the occupants did get the power turned off, so I'll have to call and get that back on. But place is in pretty good shape. I mean, I think you can get away with this kitchen. You got the Formica countertop, so it's not like it's stone there, but overall pretty good. You know, it's going to need some cleanup, but these aren't really damaged in any real way, shape, or form. It's just, you know, some deferred maintenance. You guys have seen plenty of that on the channel. But I think it's a good space, and again, it's just, I'm looking at it from like an investor, realtor, you know, what would I do here? And I'm kind of finding hard stuff to look at, or I should say hard in what I want to do. You know, just walking into like the dining area here, you know, floor's in pretty good shape. Yeah, you know, you might not like the paint colors, you know, little drywall patching going on here, but that stuff, you know, most end users are going to come in and probably paint the place anyway to their style. Not always, but typically that's one thing that homeowners will try to do when they buy. But again, overall pretty good shape. We're kind of crossing through the front door, stairs going upstairs, and then like kind of a living room here, living area. Again, not too bad. We got the cans in the ceiling. Floor looks pretty good. Again, just not seeing any real damages. Do we have vinyl windows? We do have vinyl windows. Okay. So again, just kind of get some feedback. I'd love to get an opinion on what you guys may think. Looks like we may have a little bit of a flooring replacement here. Some of the same pattern we saw on the deck. Again, just not kind of marrying them together with the staggering. Looks like we have our first bedroom here of the three with the walkout to the deck. So that's kind of nice. You know, this floor will need a little bit of work, you know, sand and refinish, but you know, the rest of the house looks pretty good. So that's kind of where this is like an in-betweener. Some of the banks will actually renovate properties, maybe not in full. Some of them do it in full, like it's a full flip, but they'll make like safety repairs, financing repairs, things like that. But this one I think is in just, you know, pretty good shape overall. Yeah, coming into the bathroom, so first floor bathroom. Again, no power on here. I got the light, but we'll see what's going on. But, you know, nice tiled shower. They got the accent piece, you know, vanity pedestal sink, nice tile floor. Again, you know, just needs like kind of a clean, you know, a deep scrub and some comment in here. Not too bad. Maybe a little work on the drywall, but so far so good, especially from what we've seen more recently. Maybe we'll pop in the basement. I just wanted to point out correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they're called barn doors, but like these split doors, right? Typically you see them in barns because like this is where it's like where the horse comes up. So you can keep the horse in the bay, but you open up the top and you feed them, you know, like the cattle or the horses or anything like that. So I thought this was pretty cool, pretty interesting. I just don't know why it's on the basement door. I've seen a few of those in my career. Typically they're on like exterior doors or porch doors. So the basement door is a little curious there, but you know, to each their own. I'm not going to sit here and hate on the styling. They wanted a barn door, they wanted a barn door. All right, so walking down in the basement. We'll start in the basement down here, get it over with. So it looks like they did have a bit of a finished area here. You know, wood stove not hooked up. Flooring starting to peel up a bit. You know, some vinyl. I mean, this is like the clipboard stuff. I've installed a bunch of this throughout my years. And I mean, they didn't even, I don't know what they did here, honestly. They maybe just put them down flat, maybe threw some adhesive underneath. But that's a little interesting because I'm pretty positive that's not how you do it. Accent wall looks like with some reclaimed or recycled wood. You know what? All things considered, I actually don't hate the wall. When you kind of look at it, you can see kind of see the imperfections, right? Some of what's going on. but from a distance, it does have a very nice feel. I almost feel like I'm in a brewery, you know, with this. I don't hate it. Could it have done a little better? Maybe, but, you know, they still got the, like, you wouldn't turn that piece around just so you're not seeing the Sharpie. So that's interesting. Yeah, same thing here, so. But that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. We've had accent walls, but not with, like, you know, recycled, reclaimed wood or whatever. Another part of the finished basement area. Looks like this might have been, oh, might have been a sink here. Okay, interesting. Because I think there was laundry in the other room. Yep. Little, like, pass-through thing here. We got the electrical box. Anything back here? Oh, it could be the, yep, water meters down there. Okay, cool. Yeah, public out here. I don't know if we're on natural gas. Let's see if we find an oil tank. Oh, oil tank. All right, so we're on oil. All right. So yeah, other side of the basement. This has got your washer dryer. Got everything elevated. That's pretty nice. Doesn't look like it's been getting water, but just so you're not bending over like crazy doing your laundry. Water heater looks good. Actually looks more recent than not. May have had a central vac system here at one point. Looks like some legacy hardware. Furnace looking okay. Not seeing any cut pipes. No real water evidence down here, so that's good. All right, we'll turn it around. Cool, okay, nice storage space, nice storage area with the laundry. You know, it just needs a little bit of cleanup, obviously, but not too bad. It's the hatchway door. Okay, cool. Cool. Again, not bad. This one I think is really just gonna need like a good scrub out, a good cleaning. Oh, maybe you want to throw something over that for the clean out, just so you're not breaking your ankle every time you walk by. Okay. Oh, and then maybe a few things with the steps, because you know we got some missing covers here, but then they're full through. So these, you know, that just looks like plywood. So these were probably open at some point, and they just went and covered them. So maybe something like that just to clean it up. Okay. Not bad. So we'll circle back around, big circle. Nice little landing in the when you walk in the front door, so you don't mess up the hardwood. And then we're walking upstairs. I will say these stairs are a little steep for my liking. But an older home. Let me see, what year was this thing built in? 1952. So it's actually pretty steep for a 52 build. Oh, sorry, no lights. Again, it's not like the width or anything is the issue, but it was a little steep, especially for 1952. But all right, it's not too bad. And then up here we have, so up here, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. So let's go left. Bedroom number 1. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing in here other than cleaning the place up. I mean, looks like it's pretty good. You got some more room going down, plenty of room for furniture. You got a full walk-in closet here, so that's pretty good. Ceiling height is decent. Probably about 8-foot ceilings. Probably, man, was it, maybe it's just Chicopee. We had just had another property in Chicopee with a knockdown on the ceiling. Maybe it was the same contractor. That's interesting. I go from never seeing it to seeing it in like 2 properties back to back, so that's interesting. This is a good sized room though. You know, vinyl windows, so everything's good there. Like I said, property's in pretty good shape. All things considered. Coming to the bathroom here. Oh, all right, so they got the granite stone up in the bathroom. This is nice. Matches the tile, matches the aesthetic. Again, you know, vanity a little dirty, but you can clean that up. That's more than salvageable. Same thing with the sink. You know, mirrors obviously seen better days. But then yeah, they're having the tile come up into the tub. I mean, it looks pretty good. You know, a little crayon maybe from the kids, but and then maybe need a reseal on the bottom, but overall not bad. Again, I think this is one where you can get away with just kind of cleaning it up. You know, I mean, you might not like the paint colors, but oh yeah, some more of the knockdown here on the ceiling. That's a little, just to me, it just looks like the ceiling was waiting for a skim coat. It's the only reason I don't like it, because you gotta paint it all one color so it doesn't look like 2 different colors. And then bedroom number 2 looks like we just got a mirror image of bedroom number 1. This one's got a little bit of a smaller closet, because I think on the other one, yeah, the closet was in that side. So, but yeah, still got pretty good size in here. Good headroom. Floor feels okay. I would imagine this is the clipboard floor, yeah. So you can see some of the gap right there, but this one looks a lot better than what we saw in the basement, at least. I don't see anything coming across. And again, just to show you guys how I look at these sometimes, like you can see the straight line here, and then, you know, this one that's just slightly off, straight line, you know, one missing here. It's not a big deal at all. It's just, I feel like I have to point that out just for my own self. That's just me being a weirdo, so. But I noticed, oh, pocket door. Nice. Big fan of pocket doors, cool. Pocket door, now that I say that, that kind of makes sense, because otherwise you're opening the door here, maybe hitting yourself when you're on the toilet. So pocket door, I love those. Get some nice trim pieces. That's what I'm saying, it's a nice house, all things considered. You know, some cleanup, you could definitely clean this up and get away with it as is, as an end user. So like I said, I'm curious to see what the audience thinks about the place, just because, you know, I don't really see too much going on here. You got a nice stone backsplash, goes up all the way up to the cabinets. Rarely do we see this cover the distance. Usually it's stopping right at the base. So they spent it's not like it's a ton of extra money, but they actually had the thought to do that, right? So this is a nice little property. This should be nice for somebody. Cool. Okay, let's close this door, and I think that'll wrap it up for today. All right, so again, appreciate you guys sticking around for another walkthrough of the week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, we have new videos every Saturday morning. And if you're looking to connect on these properties or real estate in general, or on those 1% listings like I discussed before, go ahead and drop us a line via the links in the video description. All right, Nick signing off. Till next time. See ya.